Mr. Shinkai's unique style and storytelling, and this I know from my son, have earned him a dedicated fan base not only in Japan but all around the world. His works have been praised for their beautiful animation, their intricate plot lines, and relatable characters, and often resonate with audiences on a very personal level. His vision, as you all know, has captured the imagination of the youth in all corners of our country and across the globe. And his Indian fan following is seriously a testament. So, apne liye bhi taaliyan baja lijiye ek bari. Well done. Ever since the thrilling trailer of his latest film, Suzume, dropped online, Indian anime fans have been waiting with bated breath to watch it on the silver screen. And they get to do that from tomorrow, right, PVR? Quite cool. The film tells the story of a 17-year-old high school student who accompanies a mysterious young man on a magical adventure. Suzume promises to be a magical journey that will enchant audiences of all ages. Take a look at the trailer.
First of all, Mansi is leaving me here alone, which is very terrifying. And secondly, you know, singing is also very unusual. Yeah, so I hope you do sing at some point of time. Thank you, everyone, members of the press and a delegation from Japan, and of course, you know, PVR Pictures team. Everyone is here, and it's really a big pleasure to be hosting this event. Can you all hear me? Okay. Hosting this event. It always is nice to, first of all, come back to Bombay, because I don't get to do that very often, but Bombay is where really the heart and the soul of the film industry is, and this is where we meet all the creative people who put these films together and showcase them throughout the country. Huh? What happened? Oh, okay. I mean, I think specifically to this event and genre, you know, it's blown us away. Honestly, that's the only thing I can say. It's completely blown us away. It's something that us at PVR Inox Pictures tried to do about 8-9 months ago, and really this was an idea that came from the audiences themselves, and I give credit to the huge anime fans that we didn't know existed in the country. And they used to write to us on social, on feedback, to get these anime films, and that's where we really picked up the idea from, and that's where we thought that there is a huge market out there which is not being catered for as far as anime films are concerned. And we decided to you know, import one of them first to start with, which did phenomenally well. And what was heartening was not just the box office numbers, but the craze and the enthusiasm and that came from not just the metros, but even the small towns across the country. Like, you know, people were writing to us from Kota, from Lucknow, from Allahabad, and it was just incredible to know that the anime fans are all over the country. And that was about 9-10 months ago, and then after that, of course, we decided to launch an anime division within PVR Pictures. You know, we've been very fortunate that we've had some great relationships with the producers, and they've been giving us a steady supply of films, and we find ourselves releasing at least, you know, a film every 2 months, and this is just growing. The market is growing, the fans are growing, and it's just overwhelming, as I said, to see the kind of response that we're getting for this genre of films. But today is even more exciting because we are premiering this film tomorrow, releasing it on Friday. Suzume will be released across 250 screens across the country, and we are very fortunate and lucky to have the celebrated director, Mr. Shinkai, with us, who has made these incredible films like Your Name and Weathering with You as well. So without much further ado, if I can please have him on stage. Hello, how are you?
Please sit. Welcome back, Shinkai-san. I'm right here in front of you. The chair, the leg was broken, so I didn't have a seat. So this is your second trip back to India,
Yes.
but I believe you had a wonderful time when you were here first 3 years ago. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
はい、そうですね、3年前の、はい、まずは、この場を催してくださった PVR の皆さんと、わざわざ、ね、ここまで来てくださったメディアの皆さんに心よりお礼申し上げます。
Thank you, Mansi. Before I say anything, Ajay, thanks for having us. And everybody who took time out today, it really means a lot. Thank you for coming.
僕がインドに初めて来たのは、3年前、天気のこと映画を作った時でした。
So, to answer your question, yes, my first visit to India was 3 years ago. Weathering with you brought me here first.
あの時のパンチョーリ君というね、インド人の高校生の男の子が、新海の映画をインドで見たいと署名を集めてくれて、そこが何万も署名が集まったことで、インドに行くことが実現しました。
So I'll never forget that name, Pancholi. Young kid, amazing passion. He started a signature campaign, and I did not even know there'd be so much momentum. And the next thing I knew, it brought me to India. I was in Delhi that time.
デリーに行った時に本当に驚きました。これほどインドにたくさんのアニメーションの観客がいるということを僕は知らなかったんですね。
So I really need to thank him. I didn't know that there were so many people who loved my movies or who loved animation until I reached Delhi. That was such an eye-opening experience.
そしてそのインドの観客の若さとその熱意に、とても感動しました。
And I'll never forget the amount of energy those young people had. It was amazing.
ですね、日本で、観客の前に立つよりも、日本の観客よりも、アメリカの観客よりも、他のアジアのどの観客よりもインドの観客は熱心でした。
So I have to tell you what I love about Indian audiences. I've been to the US, I've been to Japan, I've gone all across Asia. Nobody shows the passion that our Indian fans show. It is amazing.
日本でね、ステージに立ってもみんながこう拍手で迎えてくれるだけなんですけど、インドでステージに立った時には、まるでその自分がロックバンドのアーティストになったように、そのね、シュプリヒコードをみんな上げてくれて、あるいは僕の靴にタッチしてくださって、本当にそのことに驚きましたし、感動しました。
So I have to tell you, like, I really have India to thank for this. Like, when I'm in Japan, everyone's so well behaved. I get on the stage, they clap politely, it ends with that. I come to India, I feel like a rock star. Yeah, thanks for clapping. Other people coming and touching my feet to be made to feel like a guru, it's next level. Thank you guys, really.
はい、その時以来、そのインドは僕にとってとても特別な国になりました。
So that was my first time, and I have to say this. If I had to say it in one word, India is very, very special to me, and thank you all for making it so.
ですから、まあね、次の映画ができたら、またインドに行きたいとずっと思っていて、その間パンデミックがありましたけれども、パンデミックがね、なんとか僕たちは乗り越えて、こんなふうに同じ場所にね、一緒に、顔を合わせることができて、今日はとても幸せです。
So all of us across the globe, we've been through a very tough 3 years. But isn't it amazing? We've gone through a once-in-a-century pandemic, and here we are today. I brought my film, and I brought it to my beloved India. And I'm looking forward to it. There will be another film. I'll get to come to India again. It's going to be a great life.
So thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you,
Lovely,
thank you so
we wanna-
much.
We want to keep getting you back over and over again, but we have you back thanks to PVR Pictures for Suzume. Would you like to tell us something about your new film?
はい、わかりました。そうですね、次の映画を作ったらまたインドには来たいですよね。
Yes, so yes, Mansi, I'm looking forward to seeing you again when we come for the next movie, yes?
PVR guys here. Always here with you guys. Absolutely, I'll be here.
はい、まあ、スズメについてじゃあ少しだけお話しさせてください。
So you guys want to hear a little bit about Suzume from the man himself?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. まあ、インスピレーションが、そうですね、この映画のインスピレーションが2つあります。
So I have 2 key points of inspiration for this movie.
1つ目のインスピレーションは、日本で12年前に起きた東日本大震災というね、とても巨大な地震です。
So the first, you must have heard about it. 12 years ago, we had a massive earthquake and tsunami in the northeast coast of Japan. A lot of people know that as the Tohoku earthquake.
そうですね、東北で地震が起きて、巨大な地震が起きた後、津波がやってきて、沿岸の町を流し去ってしまいました。その後、福島の原発が、メルトダウンして、多くの人が東北に住むことができなくなりました。
So it had a lot of significance. Just imagine, one day you wake up, a giant earthquake happens, then a tsunami follows, and it wipes out everything along the coast. The next thing you know, the nuclear reactors have a meltdown. Your way of life as you knew it, it's just wiped out. One day and everything's gone.
まあその時にやっぱり自分がこう実感したのは、僕たちの日常生活というのはある日突然途切れてしまうんだ、終わってしまうんだということです。いつ日常が終わるかわからない世界に住んでいるのであれば、まあ、そこから希望をつかむような映画を作りたいとその時に思うようになりました。
So what that brought home to me was that, what we know as our everyday existence, it doesn't take much to wipe it away. It can be gone anytime. But I didn't want to make a story that just ended with that. I wanted to say that there's always hope, there's always a day ahead.
まあそれが一つ目のインスピレーション。二つ目のインスピレーションは、まあ、日本で現在少しずつ増えている、まあ、廃墟についてです。
So that was my first point of inspiration. The second was abandoned buildings, ghost towns, abandoned communities. You see a lot of that in Japan now.
まあ、インドはね、とても人口が多い国で、若い世代もとても多いですよね。でも、日本や他の多くの国は今人口減少が起きています。少子高齢化が起きていて、人が住まなくなった町がだんだん増えています。
So India, you have a vibrant economy, you have a lot of young people, you can feel the country thriving. But in a lot of other countries, you see as there's more and more aging of the population, what used to be thriving communities are now dying.
あるいは自然災害も増えていますよね。日本は地震がありますが、他の国も、気候危機による自然災害はとても多いと思いますし、そうですね、まあ、そんなふうに人口減少や自然災害によって、日本では、廃墟が、人の住まない場所が増えているんですよね。そういう廃墟をめぐる物語を作りたいと思いました。それが2つ目のインスピレーションです。
And there's other reasons for this as well. Sometimes you have earthquake-prone areas and people can't live there anymore. Or there are natural disasters that happen that change people's lives. So there are many factors, but what happens is that you get all these abandoned buildings, abandoned homes, and I wanted to weave a story around that.
まあ、この2つのインスピレーションを、まあ1つにして、そしてその上でこう楽しいエンターテインメント映画を作りたいと思ったんですね。ですから、まあ、すずめを見たという観客の方、メディアの方がこの映画を少しでも楽しんでくれたのであればとても嬉しいです。
But these are the 2 points of inspiration. But most of all, I wanted to tell a story that brings joy, that brings happiness. So I think we have a few friends from the media here. If you were able to see Suzume and see hope and joy and happiness out of it, it would make me very happy.
明日のね、プレミアでも観客に楽しんでもらえるとすごく嬉しいですけどね。
And Mr. Bijli spoke a lot about the efforts that they've made about bringing this movie here. So if we can have people happy, leaving the theaters happy, it'll mean a lot to me. And I'll be happy to know that PVR got that out of this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, question answers. Please put your hands up so I can figure out who wants to ask Shinkai-san and Mr. Bijli. Any questions? One second, I'll give you a mic. I'll get a mic across to you. All right, I'll give you mine for now. Can you give me?
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I've been to Japan, and one of the most beautiful experiences of my family life is Japan. So thank you for treating my family very beautifully.
Thank you.
Here my question is, हिंदी में पूछो चलेगा ना? हाँ. यहाँ मैं जाना चाहती हूँ, यहाँ पे शिनचैन बहुत चलता है, यहाँ पे डोरेमोन बहुत चलता है. ऐसे में सुजुमे क्या नया रंग लेकर आएगा और क्या ये सारे एज ग्रुप के लिए है?
そうですね、受け入れられればいいなというふうに願ってはいます。日本で、まあ、今アニメーションはとても人気なんですけど、アニメーションにも、2つの種類があります。
अगर सारे generations में सबको पसंद आए तो इच्छा तो यही है कि ऐसे होगा. I can only hope that a lot of people across many generations like it. So when you speak about animations, there are a lot of subgenres to it.
一つは先ほどおっしゃったドラえもんやクレヨンしんちゃん、あるいは PVR が扱っているような、まあ、呪術廻戦とかそういう IP のものですよね。まあ、漫画原作の IP もの、それがすごく今日本のみならず世界中で人気です。
So I'm sure everybody here knows as well, but just for reference, you have, of course, Doraemon and Shin-chan that you mentioned, and then what Mr. Bijli mentioned that you have, IP-based, like manga-based animes that PVR is curating very successfully. So you have these 2 categories to begin with.
ただ、スズメはそのような IP ではなくて、オリジナルのアニメーションです。どちらかといえば、スタジオジブリ作品、宮崎駿監督がずっとやってきたような映画のための、物語がスズメです。ですから、こういうその映画オリジナルのものがインドで成功するのかどうか、僕は確信がないんですが、それはもう本当にこう PVR にお任せするしかないなと、逆にスズメは成功しそうかどうか、逆に僕は聞いてみたいですね。
So it is actually the question should be better directed to Mr. Bisley, but I cannot say anything because Suzume is something that is completely different. It is not the Raimon-based children's cartoon. It is also not IP-based, manga-based cartoon. It is an original story. It's a narrative. It is a filmmaking based, but it's made on the animation platform. So I think how it works really, I'll wait to hear from PVR.
Yeah, how do you think, Vijay-san?
I think I have incredible expectations, and as I said, like the last few months have exceeded our expectations. Not just in terms of box office numbers. Clearly, this mic is working better, but also in terms of the videos that I've seen, of fans and patrons while they've been watching anime films. I mean, our sites across the country, from small towns also, like Kota and Allahabad, have actually taken videos of people screaming and shouting when the movies start. And I was amazed by this kind of response to the film. And I have like incredible expectations of this one also come 21st of February. Yeah.
At the same time, one more question from my side. India, हमारे देश में बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें हैं, ऐसी पौराणिक चीज़ें हैं, कथाएं हैं जो जापान की भी हिस्ट्री बहुत अच्छी है, उनका भी संस्कृति बहुत रिच है. क्या यहाँ की कोई कहानी इन्हें पसंद आई है? क्या वो सोचना चाहेंगे यहाँ की किसी कहानी को फिल्म में तब्दील करने का?
そうですね、僕たちはたくさんの伝統行事のようなものをこうインドからもらっていると思います。例えば、僕たちは、お盆という習慣があって、夏に、先祖の霊が自分たちの家に帰ってくるというお盆という習慣があるんですけど、それは仏教から来ていますので、インドと、そういうマインドを共有していると思います。
I think your question is really interesting because rather than thinking of it as Japanese culture or Indian stories, what I find is that we have a lot of much more commonality than we'd imagine. For example, in Japan you have something called Obon, and in India you have something called Pitrapaksh, which is exactly the same, that we think once a year our ancestors are going to come back, we need to welcome them, we need to appease them and send them back. And how beautiful it is that through Hinduism, through Buddhism, it has traveled to Japan, but we all feel the same way about our ancestors.
Arigato. Thank you.
One sec, before you say one sec, there's another gentleman who's asked me, before you come in after him, can you please give him a mic? No, here, sitting here. Hold on, 1 second, just hold on. This gentleman was number 2 in line. Okay, since you, 1 second, aapke paas aayega. You can ask your question first since you've got it.
So my question is very simple. What made you choose this 3-legged chair? Was it something related to the disaster, or was it something related to your childhood memory in your school, kindergarten?
はい、鋭いですね。いくつかの理由があるんですが、一つは僕自身の子供時代の思い出です。確かにおっしゃる通りです。
I think you're a smart one. You caught that out. Yes. So the first one is, yes, it's a childhood memory. I'm amazed that you guessed that.
僕が子供の頃、自分の父親が僕に椅子を作ってくれたんですね。本当にこの椅子のようなシンプルな糸を組み合わせただけの椅子でした。でもそれがとても嬉しかったんです。
So when I was a young boy, my father made a chair for me. It was a very simple chair, nothing too complicated, but it gave me so much happiness to know that it's my chair.
その時に思ったのは自分の部屋をもらったような気持ちになったんです。あるいは自分の家を自分のお家をもらったような気持ちになりました。椅子というのは小さな子供にとって自分の最初の居場所だと思うんですよね。ですから、スズメの思い出のアイテムとして椅子がふさわしいなというふうに考えました。
So for a small child like me, for me to get my own chair, it was like having my own room, having my own house. Because it is mine. It's the one thing that's only mine. And I wanted to keep that feeling intact somewhere. So that's why when I had to think of Suzume, I gave her a little chair that she could hold close to her heart.
そしてまあこの椅子を3本足にした理由は、まあ、この映画全体のメッセージのシンボルとして、この椅子を3本足にしたかったんです。それは、まあ、何かスズメの欠けた心のメタファーになると思ったんですね。スズメというのは災害にあって、まあ、何かねこう大きな喪失を抱えています。でもその喪失を抱えたままでも強く生きていくことができる3本足の椅子をこう力強く走らせて活躍させることはそういうメッセージになるというふうに考えました。
And the reason why it has 3 legs is because I think all of us have 3 legs in one way. Suzume, she's gone through a lot, she's feeling a lot. She's not complete, it's not perfect. But even without a perfect life, you can run happily on 3 legs, you can do a lot, you can do enough. That's the message of the film. And I hope I was able to convey it through this 3-legged fellow.
Thank you for asking. Thank you.
Sorry, just 1 second. Sorry, he was waiting in line. You're next, right after this.
Shinkai-san, ohayou gozaimasu.
おはようございます。
I'm Siraj Sayed from filmfestivals.com. My question is, when you were a child, what was the type of cartoon character or comic characters that appealed to you? And as you have grown up, has your own taste changed substantially?
はい、わかりました。自分が小さな頃とおっしゃって最初に思い浮かんだのはドラえもんです。ドラえもんのテレビシリーズではなくまあ長編シリーズがあるんですよね。まあ劇場のアニメーションになったりするまあ夏休みのひと夏の冒険をするような物語がとても好きで、まあその漫画をよく読んでいました。
Thank you for the question. Yes, so Doraemon, somebody had mentioned that name. So you have the serialized version on TV, but you also have a longer version. And there was one about his adventures in the summertime. I used to love that one a lot.
まあ自分の人生を変えたようなアニメーションでいうと、自分が12歳の時ですかね、中学1年生ぐらいの時に見た、宮崎駿監督の天空の城ラピュタ、キャッスル・イン・ザ・スカイというアニメーションです。初めて自分のお金で映画館に行って世の中にこんなに面白いものがあるんだと衝撃を受けました。まあそれが自分がアニメーションに惹かれる最初のきっかけだったかもしれないですね。
And if you ask about the one movie that changed my life in animation, it is of course Miyazaki Hayao Castle in the Sky. I was a young boy, a school boy. I paid money myself to go watch the movie, and I was blown away. I was like, this can be a way of life. This can be a way of art. It opened a new door in my mind.
まあ大人になってから見て衝撃を受けたアニメーションというのはいくつかありますが、まあ比較的最近でもないんですが、比較的大人になってからの作品でいうと「アナと雪の女王」ですかね、フローズン、まあハリウッドピクサーのアニメーションにとても大きな衝撃を受けました。
And as a grown-up, I'm proud to say that I was blown away by Pixar's Frozen. I really like that one.
例えばあれはこうプリンセス、そうですね、プリンセスが王様に救われるという話ではない、とてもまあ現代的なメッセージが映画の中にありましたし、それがかつ、前編こうギャグが挟まれていて本当にこうエンターテインメントとして笑えるものになっていた、その語り方のその巧みさ、ストーリーを観客の心に届けるそのうまさにとても衝撃を受けました。
And the reason why I liked it so much is because of the craft of the storytelling in that movie. You don't have a typical princess gets saved sort of a script there. It's a very modern interpretation of what a princess is supposed to be, but at the same time it's very entertaining. It is not didactic, it has a lot of jokes. It really pulls you in as a story. So I think in terms of the techniques, the craft of storytelling, I think Frozen did a great job. I really liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you're next.
Hi, Samir here from Movie Talkies. Hi, welcome to India, sir. So you are a very commercially successful director. Your film, like your name was a critical acclaim. It was a huge blockbuster in Japan, and Suzume has also done a record-breaking business in the opening weekend. So how do you see that growth, in your films in Japan as well as in India? Because when it comes to Indian box office, we don't really talk about these numbers in media, about the foreign films, except for Hollywood.
日本のアニメはこれからもそういう同じような数字を出せると思います。
もう PVR 次第なのかなというふうに思います。
Again, it should go to the wonderful gentleman next to me. The same question about whether collections can match if the Bollywood movie or the Hollywood movies in India. Do you think Japanese anime can reach the same levels that?
Absolutely, because in the English films. The business is only growing. The English film box office numbers were a lot lower, but now we have a lot many more films that are reaching the 40 crore mark or the 50 crore mark, or even more. You know, these movies that have come out like Avatar and John Wick 4 in recently. And that's also because English films have been releasing in this country for the last 50, 60 years. So there is already a market that has developed over the years. And anime is very new. We just kind of discovered it. It was always there. But we as a company just discovered it, and it's only been in our release plans and release schedules the last 9-10 months. And already the numbers are overwhelming. They are reaching, some movies are reaching 7 crores, 8 crores. And this is without any kind of marketing. It's just basically, you know, the box office numbers and the popularity that comes from Japan, you know, along with these movies, and the fan base that already knows about these films. I mean, in this day and age of internet and social media, people already know that these movies are coming. So we're just actually just riding on that popularity and not even doing much to popularize and market these films. And if we can have the support of our directors and producers and do a lot more as far as marketing is concerned, I think these films have a huge potential to reach those English box office numbers.
Thank you. We're just going to go for one question per person. We have a lot of people.
Because he did not answer, so let me ask another question. Okay. So there is an Indian sensation called RRR, which recently won Oscar and Golden Globes, and it has released in Japan in October, and it is still running. It is the highest grossing Indian film in Japan. So I just would like to know your reaction, because we don't have any people coming over here and praising our Indian films.
そうですね、バーフバリも RRR も映画館で見ました。
Don't worry, it's not just RRR. I watched Bahubali as well, and I watched it on the big screen.
そうですね、まあ今も RRR は現在も日本の劇場で公開中なんですけれども、まあ見たときにやっぱりエンタメはインドのエンタメはこんなふうに新しいものを見せてくれるんだと、まだハリウッドで見たことのない新しい形のエンターテインメントを見せてもらったという、そういう衝撃を受けました。
And I enjoyed it thoroughly because it's entertainment, but it's a new flavor of entertainment. Hollywood doesn't give what RRR can give. It's a very unique experience. I loved it.
インドの観客がような映画を作らせているんだなというふうに感じました。友人やいろんな人と一緒に見ながら声を上げるための映画であるなというふうに思ったんですね。日本の映画というのは黙って見る映画です。ですから随分成り立ちが違う、観客そのものが違うんだなというふうに感じました。
And one other thing that I realized is that I have to give a lot of respect to Indian directors, that they're taking the trouble to make films that you can enjoy with your friends. They want to make a movie where you can go with a bunch of friends, you can shout at the movie, you can enjoy it together. Japanese directors tend to make movies where you hide within yourself and watch it silently. So I get to learn a lot from my Indian friends.
そうですね、僕はインドの映画の見方の方がインドの皆さんのように笑いながら声を上げながら映画を見て、くれる。日本の観客が声を出してしまうような映画を作りたいと RR を見ながら感じました。
So when I watched RRR, I was like, someday I want to make a movie which will make Japanese viewers become Indian viewers, where they'll be able to come with a bunch of friends and shout out "Yay" to a movie.
Thank you for asking.
Yes, we look forward to that. Yeah.
I will.
You wanted to ask a question? Okay. Right.
Hello. Yeah. Shinkai here.
Hi.
Welcome to India and welcome to Bollywood. Yeah, my questions to you is, what inspired you to make this movie, Suzumi?
スズメのインスピレーションの話。
Is there any memories behind it, or something like you have something in mind, like?
No offense, but he already answered that question.
No problem. そうですね。最初にお答えしたように、一つは12年前に起きた実際の東日本大震災。もう一つは日本で人口減少も含めて廃墟が増えているということがまずありました。
So, but yeah, just to answer again, one is about 12 days ago we had a really serious earthquake and tsunami in Japan. It created huge tragedies. So I wanted to kind of capture that essence. And the second is the rise of abandoned buildings around Japan. I wanted to weave a story around that phenomenon.
ただもっと言えば日常を取り戻す物語を作りたいというふうに思いました。なぜなら災害というのは日常を、途中でね途切れさせてしまう出来事だからです。途切れた日常を取り戻す物語を作りたいと思ったんです。
But I wanted most of all for my movie to have a sort of a motif where you're able to reclaim normalcy, because I think what a lot of us have lost with tragedies or displacement is what we consider normal or everyday. So somehow I wanted to show that it's possible to bring back what is normal and familiar to you.
そのために、必要なシンボルだなと思ったのがドアなんです。スズメが、ドアをね何度も開けたり閉めたりしますけど、ドアが日常のシンボルになると思いました。なぜなら僕たちは毎朝家起きてドアを開けて出て行ってドアを閉めて帰ってきますよね。そのドアの開け閉めの繰り返しが僕たちの日常だからです。
So one symbol of that is the door. So the door is used extensively in the movie. So what does the door mean? You open the door and it's your home. That is your place to be. And you shut the door and the rest of the world is out. So I was trying to show that it's possible to have that home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions. So one's from here. In order. All right. Let him finish this.
So, hi Shinkai Sensei.
Hi.
Welcome to India.
Hi.
So, this has been an integral part of your movies since the beginning of your career. And however, it's not a straightforward romance. There is a hint of pain, and it is mostly unrequited love. So, is there a particular reason why you include it in your movies? Is this because you experienced something similar in your personal life?
そうですね。おっしゃる通り、特に僕の初期の作品だと、アンハッピーエンドのような、初恋が実らないような映画を繰り返し作ってきました。
You're actually right. In the beginning of my career, I made a lot of movies where there's unrequited first love.
その理由は僕自身がね、初恋が実らなかったということもありますけれども、でも多くの人にとって初恋は実らないものだからと考えたからです。
That's because I myself had that experience, and I would like to believe a lot other people have that too. That's just like what I'd like to believe.
ただそうですね、東日本大震災が起きる前までは僕はそういうその初恋をめぐる物語を書いていたんですけど、ただ災害が起きてからは、もう少しそうですね、ラブストーリーからだんだん離れてきているような気がします。今回のスズメはどちらかといえばラブストーリーではなくてスズメの成長物語です。
But, I myself changed as a person when I saw the scale of tragedy with the Tohoku earthquake. So I think it changed me as a person, it changed me as a filmmaker. So that reflected in Suzume as well. It's not a love story, it's more of a growth arc. It's about a girl who learns to find herself.
そのような映画を作っているのは僕たちの今の世界が災害に囲まれていると感じるからです。日本は地震もそうですけど、地震に限らずパンデミックもそうですよね。ロシア・ウクライナ戦争もそうだし、クライメートクライシス、気候危機もそうですよね。そんなふうに災害が増えている世界の中で今作る映画としては、ファーストラブの物語というよりはこのタフな世界の中でどうやって希望をつかむか、そういう物語を作りたいと思って今回のスズメは、今回のような物語になりました。
So Suzume kind of reflects that, because I have the sense that we're perpetually living on the brink of crisis. You have climate change issues that are creating havoc across many countries. You have Japan is in a seismic zone. You have a lot of earthquakes. When you don't have that, then of course you have Russia and Ukraine just doing what they're doing. So what I feel is that we always are in a brink of something disastrous happening. But within that, we need to find hope. So I wanted to create a story about finding hope in a time of crisis.
またね、ファーストラブのことだけをテーマにしたような物語を作れるような平和な世界が戻ってくることを願ってはいますが。
But I have to say, it would be a very nice world if we were able to believe that we can only make movies about first love and then getting requited. Right now, I feel that the world is in a much tougher space.
God willing. We have time for more questions. Don't worry. Lady in the sunglasses behind.
Hello. 先生、
はい。
インドへようこそ。
ありがとう。どこですか？手を上げてみて。はいはい。I can see you.
先生、インドへようこそ。
ありがとう。Thank you so much.
私に関しては先生の映画は素晴らしいです。
ありがとう。
私はインド人の漫画家です。そして他のそのような学生、そして漫画家になりたいそのような学生たちには何のアドバイスを あげますか？
わかりました。I think you have to say in English.
はい、そうですね。I basically asked him for the other artists who are wanting to make movies like Sir, what kind of advice would he give for the artists? 特にどうやって早く書けますか？
わかりました。どうやって早く書けるかどうかはもうひたすら、ね、数を重ねていくしかないんじゃないかなと思いますけれども。
I wish I had an easy answer, but you just have to get on with it. You just have to work on it a lot to get speed.
でも今日とても幸せだなと思うのは、インドで漫画を描いているインドの漫画家の方に直接会うことができたのは僕は人生で初めてです。とても嬉しいです。
But I have to say, I don't think I'll forget you. It's the first time in my life to meet an Indian manga artist here in India. That's an amazing feeling for me. I'm very happy.
何かアドバイスできるとしたらきっと今とてもまだお若いと思うんですけど、今の若い時の、気持ち、例えば焦りであったりとか、まだ思うような作品が書けないようなもどかしさや焦りというその感情をずっと覚えていてほしいと思うんですね。もっと上手くなりたい、もっと早く書きたいというその気持ちが多分、自分を前に進めてくれると思います。
But if I had to give you advice, I wouldn't give you technical advice. I'll tell you what works. You would never forget this feeling that you have right now. You asked a wonderful question. You said, how do I do it faster? So always remember this version of yourself. You're young, you're full of hope, you want to get things done, you want to get things done in a hurry. It's a wonderful quality to have. So I hope you never lose it. All the best.
Thank you.
Right at the thank you. We have a question for Mr. Bijli right at the back.
Okay.
First of all, we are waiting with bated breath for the movie Shikai-san, and thank you for your explanation. It is as exciting as the trailer that we saw. And my question now is to Mr. Bijli. What are your expectations from the film, from box office performance? It's been grossing at record levels across the world. And how do you see this category growing in India now?
As I said earlier, I think the numbers have been quite overwhelming ever since we started this division. We've been doing, numbers in the range of $500,000 to $1 million gross box office, and we're expecting a lot more from this film. At least 10 crores gross box office across 250 screens. This is the first time we've actually dubbing it in Hindi as well. And I feel that with the number of films that we're releasing in this category, in this genre, we're looking roughly at almost ending the year with about 32 crore kind of a business. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, as I said, because we've just started. And there's a lot more we can do in terms of awareness and promotions and marketing. And I'm very confident that this segment will grow even further year on year.
Are you only dubbing it in Hindi or in other regional languages as well?
This one is only in Hindi, yes. Yeah.
Next one will be another. I heard you guys say that. All right, one last question to the lady who is filming. Can take my mic.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
As you mentioned that your film is getting dubbed in Hindi only, and Hindi films don't get complete without the music and dance. So just tell us the process of music, in case if you have a dance also.
そうですね。スズメの中にはダンスシーンはないので、インドの観客に楽しんでもらえるか、ちょっとそこが不安でもありますね。
Thanks a lot. Now you got me worried that I don't have a dance scene in the Hindi version. How's it going to work?
ただ音楽に関してはこの映画作りの初期の段階からとても深いレベルで、音楽の作曲家、ラッドインプスというロックバンドと、コラボレーションしています。
But I'm glad you asked about the music, because I know music is such an integral part of Indian movies. And I had a long collaboration with a rock band called Radwimps. We have worked on a lot of works together, and right from the beginning, they have worked very, very closely on Suzume with me.
脚本を書き終わった直後に、まず最初に書き終えた脚本を、ラッドインプスにロックバンドに送るんですね。で、彼らがその脚本を読んで、映画の感想を、歌の形で返してきてくれました。
And I'll tell you a very interesting story. Once I'm done with the script, the first people that I share the script with is Radwimps. And they give me feedback. And they don't give me feedback in terms of like emails or anything. they send it back in form of music. So they interpret my script into the music and they send it back.
そうですね、その歌はですから映画で使う曲じゃないんですね。まだ映画の映像ができていませんから、感想を音楽として送ってきてくれて、でその歌のタイトルが玉木というタイトルだったんですね。スズメではなくて、スズメを育てているおばさんの名前がタイトルでした。
So an interesting story about what happened in Suzume is that once I send them the script, they send back songs. That song is not featured in the film. Imagine the storyboard isn't even put together. They just send out a song, and the song was titled Tamaki. Now the movie is about Suzume, but the song that they sent back was not about Suzume, the main character. It was about the lady who's worked hard to raise her as a single mother, Tamaki.
そうですね、その玉木は主役ではないのに、でもとても大事なキャラクターなんだというのが、その歌を聴いて僕は気づいたんですね。その歌の歌詞は、あなたが嫌いだったという言葉から始まるんですけれども、やっぱりこう孤児となった、災害孤児となってしまったスズメを引き取って一人のシングルマザーが、ね、そのスズメを育てるにはとてもこういろんな気持ちのこう葛藤があったんだなということをその歌によって僕は気づくことができたんですね。
So I had been focusing on Suzume because she was the main character. But what was beautiful in the feedback in the song that they sent was that they looked at things from the point of view of this aunt who took in a small child who's been orphaned by an earthquake. And the title of the song begins by saying that I used to hate you at one time. And then it goes, the entire song revolves around how she grew into taking care of this young child, what all happened to herself in order to become a mother to a young child.
その歌を聴くことで脚本も修正して、その修正した脚本を読んで彼らはまた曲を作ってくれた、そんな繰り返しで、だんだん映画に使う音楽になっていったんですね。
So what happened with that is that it made me realize that there are nuances that I should add to Tamaki's character. So I built that into the script and I shared it again with them. So the music actually takes the story forward in a very important way.
インドの映画を見ても音楽というのは映画の中でとても大事な役割を果たしています。インド映画のようなダンスシーンを僕たちの、作品ではなかなか使うことはできないけれど、でもやっぱり僕たちにしかできないような音楽の使い方をしたいと思ってそのような、チャレンジをしています。
And I love your question because it points to a really important fact. It shows that music is really important to Indian movies and as well as to my movies in Japan. But in India, the songs are interpreted in terms of dance. But we don't have a scene where we can depict dance. But I think the way the music is very important, similarly important in my movies, and it carries the story forward in a different way. But music being a common denominator.
Thank you.
We do have really one last question. The ushers have identified them. Could you? Okay, that's the last one. Thank you so much all for being here. Last question.
Hi, Sensei.
Hi, Sensei. Sensei じゃない。はい、ありがとう。
First of all, welcome to India once again, and thanks to you and PVR Pictures from all Indian anime fans. We all here are anime creators from India, and we generally talk about anime in Hindi. So I will say this in Hindi. 2019 तक ये एक बहुत बड़ा सपना था कि हम एक एनिमे मूवी को कभी थिएटर में देख पाएंगे, एंड इट वाज ऑल थैंक्स टू पीवीआर पिक्चर्स जो 2019 में डीवीएस ब्रॉली मूवी को इंडिया में लेके आए. And now not only a Makoto Shinkai movie is coming to India, but the legend himself is here. So this is like more than a dream come true thing. So हम सभी anime fans की तरफ से first of all a huge thanks to you.
ありがとう。ありがとう。
India is a very diverse country, and we can see people, all Indian anime fans, they are from different places, different traditions, different culture, and now anime has also become a platform where we can connect to each other. So इंडिया में ऐसे बहुत सारे पोर्शंस हैं जो इंटरनेट में हैं, जो अभी घर में बैठ के आपको देखेंगे, जो आपकी मूवी का कब से वेट कर रहे हैं सिंस टेंकिनो को. So आप उनके लिए क्या कहना चाहेंगे? What message would you like to give to all Indian anime fans, to Indian anime community?
はい、わかりました。そうですね、僕の育った町も日本の本当に田舎だったので映画館はありませんでした。近くの映画館が電車を乗り継いで2時間かかる場所でした。
I really feel what you're saying. You know, when I was a young boy, I used to live in a place that didn't have a movie theater. You had to go 2 hours by train to reach the closest theater. So I know what you're talking about.
そうですね、なんだろう、僕が映画を作っていて一番の喜びは自分が 生きていて一生会うことがないであろう人たちとも映画を通じてコミュニケーションができることなんですね。見たことのない人たち、自分とは全然違う国に住んでいる人たち、自分と全く違う人生の人に映画を通じて、なんだか会話ができる、それが一番の、喜びですので、そういうインドのね、すごく田舎の映画館がないような場所に住んでいる人、何らかの形でインターネットを通じてでも僕の作品を見て何かを感じていただけたのであれば、本当にこれ以上の幸せはないです。
As a filmmaker, I'm so happy to be meeting all of you here in person. But as a filmmaker, what it means to me is that there are people whom I haven't met. There are people whom I'll never be able to meet. There are people with whom I don't share a common language or a geography. But we are connected through my movies. It is a sort of a magic to me. So if you're saying that there are young people with internet connectivity, that they'll be able to see my movie, it'll bring them joy, nothing brings me bigger happiness than to know that. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Rich, I'm going to request you to step off the podium. We'd like a photo up with the two of you, with the press, please.
Hi.
I'll take your mics.
Thank you.